What's going on, everybody? It's AllStar Izzy. Let's go ahead and get into this AllStar breakdown and let's talk this up because I watched a little bit, but I made sure I had to save some time because I want to watch it with you guys. And the thing that I'm going to keep constantly telling y'all is that the era of authenticity begins now. And there's empowering things that I heard a little bit about it, and I wanted to break this down with you so we can go ahead and get this thing down. And I wanted to break this video down with you so you can see these perspectives and points and how you should empower yourself and move forward with authenticity. Let's get to it.
Greatest form of activism is to be a living example of the type of people that you wish to see walking this earth.
Absolutely. You already know I had to pause it right there because this is exactly what I talk about a lot. And a lot of things that you will hear me say, especially, is to walk and talk to act. Because most people walk it, a lot of people talk it. But the thing a lot of people don't do that's rare is that you're able to talk it and to do it at the same time. Especially if you want to see any type of innovation and change into this world, the best way to do it is just be an example of it. I've been talking about being a piece of art that people criticize because being a piece of art for yourself shows that you're able to have the cojones and confidence in this world to walk amongst what you want, which will inspire everybody else. Because truthfully, if you ask them what's the one thing they want to do while they live in this life, is to impact people and to help and to serve. There's no better act than helping yourself to become the best for other people to see that, to become the best within themselves. We can inspire and give motivation to those who want to be the best, but when they really understand that it takes me to be me and be the best, then it really takes into a different height, especially when they see it coming from you. That won't take away from the things that we talked about where there comes the negativity, the haters, and all them type of people. Remember, you ain't got haters, you ain't popping. We live in a society where people would rather look good than to be good, but let's do both. Let's be good, look good, smell good, all that type of good, you know what I mean? Let's keep it moving.
This is from writer Ebony Davis. My name is Nigel. Have you ever met someone so free that it is frustrating to you? I used to be that way. I was very quick to judge someone before I would join them, admittedly.
That's an honest thing, and I'm glad that he admitted that because a lot of people are not going to admit that. When people have troubles about what being yourself means, take away all the performative things that you've done and the performative things that you think you should do. And underneath that becomes who you actually are. What are your desires and your actions and things? The world may put upon us these labels and the negative narratives and everything, correct? But then it's up to ourselves to say, I have the key, but I also am the one who put myself in the cage. So when I unlock it, I realize I'm the one who put myself here or let myself stay here. So once you break free from that and you're authentic, that causes people to be some type of way in their skin, especially if they're uncomfortable with who they are. And when they're comfortable with who they are, it is just a reflection of who they are. And it has nothing to do with you, but continue to do you and inspire. Let's keep moving on.
I would see folks who would be acting out in public just wilding. I would see Kevin on the Beltline on his rollerblades singing Beyonce or Fergie for the 1 millionth time, slapping high fives to people. And it took me a while to accept this, both inwardly and outwardly, what was actually bothering me. But once I reframed my perspective and I started to see things differently, I could actually admit that there was something about how they embraced their own autonomy that I hadn't yet embraced within myself. Over time, it became
fire, because that's exactly what it really comes down to, is that they can feel it within themselves. My name is AllStar Izzy. Welcome, like and subscribe. You're welcome to join in. Now let's keep moving on. But the thing is that when people see people who are free or authentic or whatever the case is, it's actually the power that you already have within yourself. And that's the power within that, because you already have that. And I love that he came to this introspective way about having a conversation, because as within, so without, like he said, what's wrong going on with me? So once you really ask yourself those questions, these things will come into alignment. Let's keep moving on.
It became really clear to me that they were living beyond their limits and I was living within my own. Ebony makes...
Oh man, see, he's on fire, and I keep pausing it because I got to, because this is exactly what it is. And sometimes if you have a limited belief, you may not see past that. So once you rise above that, you understand that, hold on, I've been living in a limitation place. They see beyond the sky, beyond the stars, beyond the galaxy. I'm here to just see what I'm capable of, and that's amazing. Let's keep moving.
A really beautiful point with our line that we're living by today, that our very existence can be a form of activism. Some of the best art in history came from that place. It came from unrest and it came from resistance. Think about something as significant as the Haitian Revolution. It was born from a ripple of the French Revolution. It wasn't a painting, it wasn't a poem, it wasn't a symphony or a song. It was a living, breathing masterpiece. It was an artful activism in their existence. It was the first successful slave rebellion in the Western Hemisphere. Or what about the Medici family? during the Italian Renaissance. They used their wealth to create these really beautiful cultural stages. They had soft power and quiet protection. They hosted thinkers and poets and philosophers and artists. These weren't necessarily protests, but they did provide these really interesting platforms. In the civil rights movement, an era where the art became both a mirror and a megaphone, James Baldwin was calling the unfree.
What you say and how you create your world, how you create your clothes, how you create your stance, your body language, what you show to the world is a message for what you're going to say. So it's deeper than just saying the words. The words that we choose and pick is exactly what we want to make sure we align with. We can have fun, but what we say is a correlation and direct part to our core. And it goes even beyond of what we say in our tonality to reach and speak to people with their senses through their hearing. We can show people a different type of art from our authenticity or who we are as innovators by a way to look and a way to be. And to just be, not to perform.
World into repentance. The music of blues and jazz set the stage and turned oppression into beauty. And you had things like speakeasies that were created that ultimately became sanctuaries for expression. And all of it was rebellious in its own little way. And the individuals who made up these movements knew and accepted that sometimes the world can be so wildly unfree that the only way to shake off the shackles is to let your life be the protest.
There's one thing that I like to say a lot is that if life is uncertain, why do you need to be uncertain? The society lives within conditions. Societies live within pressure. It lives within, we all need to be this collective way of thinking. We all should live in this box of thinking. And when you're outside the box of thinking, it brings you to a different level because you understand deeply it's not just about rebelling to be stubborn and be mad and be mean at the world. No, it's to create a real change, a deep change, a desire for change. Because remember, as within, so without. I thought outside the box because I started believing and listening to something deeper within me. And because I started listening to that in my mind and taking action, it started to make sense outside of the world, which has that outside thinking, which becomes the piece of art, which becomes authentic, which is one of the most polarizing things in this world. Let's keep moving.
Live artfully, to live audaciously and honestly. It was Albert Camus who said this: the only way to deal with an unfree world is to become so absolutely free that your very existence is an act of rebellion.
Absolutely.
And I genuinely believe that rebellion begins with self-respect. So I don't know if anybody's ever asked you this, but let me be the first to do it if so. Have you ever thought about your own existence as a form of art? And if the world doesn't have what you're looking for, are you willing to create as a form of activism with your own artful existence?
If you guys been a part of this journey with things that I've been speaking of, especially when it comes to art and when it comes to being the piece that people can criticize and achieving your dreams and everything that's in your wildest imagination, this is exactly what I mean. It's to become the piece, become the speak piece, become the poetry, become the change that you really want to see in this world. Because it's more than just being materialistic and having to get into different corporations for it to change into your world. It's your mindset. It's the change that's within that comes without. And the thing is that your existence already is so unique as an individual that you're already shifting many times in many places, many heads, whatever the case is. But true change and the desire to transform the things that surround you, especially if you want something completely different in your life, to elevate yourself into a new place, it's gonna have to be an example of everything that you believe in and speak of. That is what it means to be truthfully authentic and to be honest with yourself. And like he said, with the self-respect, that is exactly what it is, because we talked about the true villain. And really a true villain is honestly somebody who has boundaries and respect for themselves, because the world, most society, most people don't even value that. So when you value that for you, and even that value for you and having boundaries because of pieces of art and a piece of yourself, because now that's an extension of what you believe in and you speak of, and that becomes your art piece, plus more once you start to bloom in the unknown about what you need for you. This is an AllStar approved message.